The story begins in a desolate desert where there are no houses for miles. There isn't even a single person around. In this area, there is only one house which belongs to Robert, a gatekeeper for the railway, whose job is to signal trains with a green flag. However, only 3 trains pass through this track, and Robert knows their timings very well because he has been doing this job for the past 10 years. For the last 10 years, Robert has neither seen any person nor spoken to anyone. One day, while Robert is signaling a train with a green flag, he notices that a girl has jumped off the train, leaving her severely injured and unconscious. Therefore, Robert carries the girl on his shoulder and takes her to his home. This is a significant event for Robert because he hasn't seen any human for the last 10 years, and today, after a decade, he has seen someone. Hence, he tries to touch the girl, but suddenly the girl regains consciousness and gets scared upon seeing Robert. The girl introduces herself as Clara. Robert tells her that she fell from the train, which is why he brought her here, as it was very sunny outside and she could have fallen ill. Robert asks her how she fell from the train. Clara explains that she was traveling with her husband. When she went to the toilet, 2 people were fighting, and when she got in between them, they pushed her down. Clara expresses concern that her husband must be worried and searching for her, and he might come here at any moment. But before that, she needs to reach him. Robert informs her that there are no houses for miles around and no means of transportation. If her husband comes looking for her, he will come here. Therefore, she should stay put. However, Clara does not listen to Robert and sets off alone into the desert. Clara walks a long distance, but there are no houses anywhere. Soon, she starts feeling dizzy and faints. We then see that Robert was following Clara. When she fainted, he carried her back to his home and was applying ointment to her injured leg. Robert explains to Clara that she cannot leave from here and should let her husband come to her. But Clara does not trust Robert at all because she cannot spend the night with a stranger. If he does something at night, she wouldn't be able to do anything about it. Clara manages to fall asleep, but she keeps waking up to look at Robert, who is sleeping on the floor. Robert feels that Clara might be uncomfortable, so he goes outside. When Clara sees that Robert has gone outside, she finally sleeps peacefully. The next morning, Robert starts his daily routine. He wakes up at 4:30 a.m., brings water from far away, and there is also a train that arrives early in the morning, which he has to signal with a green flag. Robert has been following this routine for the past 10 years, and he has never missed a train's timing. Robert tells Clara that he hasn't spoken to any human in the last 10 years. He enjoys talking. At this point, Clara is starting to trust Robert a bit because he did not do anything to her during the night. Seeing Robert troubled, Clara asks him what he is hiding. He explains that every day when the train comes, his telephone rings. In fact, the telephone only receives incoming calls. You cannot call anyone. You can only talk to the people who call you. So the next time this telephone rings, I will tell them about you so that your husband can easily find you. Just a little while later, the telephone rings, and when Robert is about to tell them about Clara, she suddenly disconnects the call. Clara explains that she was not thrown from the train. Rather, she jumped from the train herself because she was running away from her husband. He is a psychiatrist and has treated her husband as well. After this, Clara starts to tell her flashback story. She mentions that a few years ago, a patient named Sinchu came to her who was in deep depression because his wife had committed suicide. This shock was unbearable for Sinchu, and he fell into a state of shock. As a result, he was unable to come out of his depression. That's why Clara treated him. But this treatment was not easy. In fact, it was Clara's first case. Therefore, she gave a lot of time to Sinchu. Gradually, Sinchu started to become normal, and Clara and Sinchu became friends. Now, because Clara had given so much time to Sinchu and he had completely recovered, they both started to like each other. After a few days, they got married. Clara's family members did not accept this at all because Sinchu was considered insane and could revert to his previous condition at any time. But Clara did not listen to them and married Sinchu. Shortly after their marriage, Sinchu changed his behavior. He started acting as if he had gone mad with Clara and even began to hit her. This became Sinchu's daily routine. He would get drunk and do drugs every day and beat his wife, Clara. Clara was completely fed up with him. In this way, Sinchu began to ruin Clara's life. Now the story comes to the present, where Clara begins to trust Robert. That's why she goes to take a shower. Robert had brought water from far away, and while Clara is bathing, Robert quietly starts watching her. When Clara comes after bathing, Robert gives her his clothes and asks her how she got the bruise on her back. Clara realizes that Robert had been watching her bath. She explains that this bruise was also caused by her husband. After that, she continues her flashback story, saying that she endured Sinchu's torture for a long time. But one day she found Sinchu's diary in which he had written everything. After reading that diary, Clara discovers that Sinchu's wife did not commit suicide. Rather, Sinchu had killed his wife and had also killed a nurse at the hospital, which he had written about in the diary. But just then, Sinchu arrives. He sees Clara reading the diary and beats her severely. To escape from the police, Sinchu is taking Clara with him somewhere by train, and in the meantime, Clara jumps from the train. After this, the story comes back to the present. Clara has told her entire story. After hearing this story, Robert says that your story and mine are exactly the same. I have no one in this world and neither do you. We can live life comfortably here. But Clara doesn't understand what Robert is trying to say. Just then, it's time for the train, and Robert goes to signal it. After that, Clara starts taking care of Robert. She cooks for him and even cleans his room. Suddenly, Clara comes across something that leaves her completely shocked. She finds some newspaper clippings that state a man had escaped after killing 4 people. And she also learns that Robert has stolen the identity of another Robert who used to work as a gatekeeper at this very level crossing. After knowing all this, Clara approaches Robert with a knife. But then Robert tells Clara that she doesn't need to be afraid. He promises to tell her the whole truth. After that, Robert's story goes into flashback, and he begins to narrate it. He explains that his mother had chosen a girl for him, and during their first meeting, he revealed all his truths to her. He told her that he was in love with another girl. However, that girl betrayed him and married a rich man. The girl he was supposed to marry had no boyfriend and agreed to marry him. After that, he got married, and a few months later, his wife called her cousin over. This was because he had some fields that required a lot of hard work, so his wife invited her cousin to work there. After some time, he became a father, and after a few years, they had 2 children. Then his wife told him that she didn't want any more children, so she suggested that he should get a vasectomy. Agreeing to his wife's request, he went to a doctor to get the procedure done. However, the doctor informed him that he didn't need a vasectomy because he couldn't become a father at all. Hearing this, I was completely shocked. After that, when I reached home, I was even more shocked because my wife and her cousin were together. Seeing this, I realized that my wife was having an affair, and the 2 children were also from that cousin. It meant that I had no family at all. After seeing all this, I was very sad, and I killed all 4 of them. This means that he killed Robert's wife, her cousin, and both children. After this, the story returns to the present, where Robert tells Clara that perhaps if someone else were in his place, they would have done the same. Now Clara starts encouraging Robert and supporting him. She tells him that if someone else were in his place, they would have done the same. Then Robert tells Clara that when he killed those 4 people, he fled to avoid the police. There he met a man named David who was a gatekeeper. He started working with them. He began helping in the fields, which is how he blended in there. But one day suddenly he died, and since then he has been working as a gatekeeper here, and it has been 10 years. After this, Clara starts feeling pity for Robert, thinking that this man has gone through a lot. Therefore, Clara decides to stay here for a few days. She starts helping Robert with his work. They have to go far to fetch water. But still, Clara goes for water. And when Clara goes far to get water, Robert is at the railway crossing when Sinchu arrives here looking for his wife. He asks Robert if he has seen a woman here. Robert clearly denies it. He says he hasn't seen any such woman here. Sinchu explains that his wife is undergoing treatment. She is completely mad. Her name is Shika, and she starts saying nonsensical things and claims that she is a doctor. If Shika is with someone, it could be life-threatening. If you have seen that girl, please let me know. My wife Shika is undergoing treatment, and my name is Dr. Sinchu. After hearing all this, Robert is unsure about whom to trust and whom not to. After listening to all this, Robert immediately goes to the place where Clara had gone for water. He asks her who Shika is. She understands that her husband Sinchu has come here. Clara tries to explain to him that Shika is the name of his wife and that he has killed her. Just as he convinced you, he convinces everyone and finds out about me. And if I go to him, he will kill me. Here, Robert is not sure about trusting him, but somewhere, Clara has also understood this. That's why Clara says that they should do something. They should call the police. But Robert immediately refuses. He says that the police will not come here because Robert himself is a fugitive criminal. So now they both go back, where Sinchu starts taking Clara back with him. As they leave, Clara tells Robert that she wanted to spend some time with him, but you didn't understand me at all. After hearing all this, Robert tells Sinchu that you will end up killing your wife. It would be better if you give your wife to me so that we can live happily here. While Robert and Sinchu are talking, suddenly Clara attacks Sinchu, injuring him badly. When Clara tells Robert that he doesn't trust her, Robert brutally kills Sinchu. Now when he is going to bury him, a slip falls from his pocket, which is from the hospital, stating that Dr. Sinchu and his patient Shika. This means that the psycho among them is none other than Clara, whose real name is Shika, and she is the one undergoing treatment, and Dr. Sinchu was treating her. Suddenly, Clara attacks Robert and tries to kill him, but it is not easy to kill Robert. In fact, Robert had killed Clara here. A very big revelation occurs here. In fact, the real psycho is Robert. Here we are told that Robert was in love with a girl who betrayed him and married a wealthy man. So Robert killed both of them, along with their children. And even David at the railway crossing was also killed by Robert. So what do you think about these three? Was Robert a psycho, or was it Clara or Sinchu? Now it's up to you. Please let me know in the comments below who the real psycho was. And with this, the movie ends here. Please do like, share, and subscribe our channel for more videos like this.